This may sound shocking to some, but hear me out. I am a hardcore feminist, but I support Islamic divorce laws over the typical 50-50 split we see in Western countries, especially USA. So why do I do that, It's because Islam has some built-in financial protection for women, and also the entire divorce process is less bitter for both sexes. I've noticed that in US, because of this 50-50 asset split, a lot of times partners become very bitter and toxic towards each other and think that they are taken advantage of. How Islam protects women financially? Number one, mahr. What is mahr? It is a bridal gift and a woman's right. So a woman can ask for anything. She can ask for gold, she can ask for diamond, she can ask for $5,000 or $100,000 or $1 million. It's up to her. Of course, it has to be reasonable. And if groom-to-be cannot pay, he can say no. It's as simple as that.
Even the mahr, we're not going to give it back to you. We're not going to give it to you. My brothers, my sisters, that mahr is owed to the woman. It is owed to her. It's her right. If you don't give it to her, Allah will take it from you through sickness, through accidents, through some form of disaster. That money is not yours. Allah will take it from you. So rather give it like a good boy, give it properly, than to be a bad person and wait for Allah to take it away from you through your hospital bills. That's just an example. That is just an example. He can take it from you in any way he wishes, but he will take it from you. It's not yours. And you would still have earned the sin of not having given it to its rightful owner. The same applies. Her bangles, her things, her belongings, you're not returning them, you're not giving them. Allah will take it from you in another way. Through sickness, like I said, through disease, through accidents, through stress, through whatever else. It will go from you, without a doubt.
So besides mahr, any gift that is given to wife during her marriage, a husband cannot claim, even if it's car, jewelry, house, and that is all besides mahr. So in most Muslim countries, what happens is that when a husband gives wife a gift, usually it is under wife's name and she get to keep it after divorce. I'd say that mahr is usually determined by how much husband can pay. And if he cannot pay what wife expect, then it's better to look for a different man. And it should be decided way before marriage. And both people shouldn't be feeling that they are taken advantage of. The other way Islam protects women financially is that she has no financial responsibility during her marriage. The husband is obligated to provide for her financially and their children as well. The wife can contribute if she's making money, if she's wealthy, but she's not obligated to. After divorce, Islam actually encourages women to remarry. However, she has to have a waiting period. I believe it's 3 months or 40 days. And during that waiting period, again, it is the husband's obligation to provide for her financially. Unlike some other cultures, like I grew up in Pakistan and I'm very familiar with Hindu culture. And in Hindu culture, it is very severely restricted for a woman to remarry after she is a widow or after she is divorced. But Islam is not like this. After divorce, husband is again fully financially responsible for all the children. Wife has zero financial responsibility. Let's talk about the 50-50 split and how it becomes so toxic. And I have seen it very personally in US because divorce is very common here and a lot of my friends have gone through divorce. I personally have gone through divorce. But me and my ex-husband, we were making similar kind of money and we both are doctors and we both were fulfilling financial responsibility in the household. So afterwards, we just divided everything 50-50 among each other. We didn't have a lengthy lawyer cost. Of course, we both are very non-conflictual. And it really helped our kids, because I think when divorce becomes so toxic, it becomes really traumatic for kids. So what happened in legal battles, especially when one person is making significantly more than the other partner? A lot of time wives are not even working and stay at home, and husbands are generating a lot of income. But during divorce or at time of divorce, the wife can claim 50% of everything, all the assets, husband business, every single thing. So I've seen couples going through years of legal battle and ending up spending anywhere between 100,000 to like $400,000 on lawyers. I've also seen a lot of time divorce can really mess up a husband, especially if he is the one who was earning, or it can mess up the wives too. I've seen women who end up paying their husbands after divorce because they were the one making more money. This is like incomprehensible in my world or my dictionary, that a woman have to pay her husband after giving birth to children, after doing everything during her marriage. She's the one paying for her husband just because she worked hard, she became a doctor, she struggled, and now she has to pay for it. So that kind of resentment developed a lot of time among couples. I personally know few guys who are in very unhappy, loveless marriages and filed for divorce, but they had to take it back because their wives were not working and they have long-term marriages, and they thought that it will get so stressful and so toxic that it's just not worth fighting. Because 50-50 means that everything will get divided. Nothing of husband belong to husband, nothing of wife belong to wife. All the assets they have, including wife's jewelry, all of those assets, they are included in the total number of assets, and they belong to both of them, and then 50-50 division has to occur. So it can get very messy and really bitter. I'm going to share one of the video from one of the scholars that I like, and advises to get prenuptial agreement, and I do strongly recommend it to anyone who is planning to get married.
In the West, and I've been having lots of counseling sessions regarding this issue, if you have to marry, and you definitely, if you're living in the States or in Canada or in Europe or elsewhere, you have to marry. So before you do this, make a prenup and make a contract that is legally binding, that if divorce were to take place, none of the spouses has the right of the property or the wealth of the ex, because it really goes ugly.
So in Islam, your property and your wealth belong to yours, and your partner property and wealth belong to them. So it keeps everything rather simple. Of course, both Western law and Islamic law, they have their own pros and cons, but one of my viewers actually commented, and I really like it, that when we are talking about rights and obligations, it's important to consider care and kindness for each other as well. But from a feminist viewpoint, I am glad that Islam actually consider financial protection of women centuries ago, while other legal systems fail to fairly do so. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.